I will give you several reasons why this is not only a myth, but this is wrong. Community schools are not expensive per se, and they do not require lots of staff. This is false. Community schools partner with nonprofit and local agencies to provide students with health care, academic enrichment, mental and behavioral health services, and other youth development activities without burdening school staff. Also, people and agencies volunteer their time and services, and they don't always require a profit. But to go further into this, it is wrong to put a price on education. I personally feel like because they spend more money trying to keep me in jail than to educate me, that is wrong. I'm scared for my future because if they're willing to put more money in the jail than to educate me, then what is left for me as a student? This is a myth, but even if you believe it to be true, there are benefits to having a community school. See, now you don't have to worry about this child having to go and sign up for social services, because with a community school, they can continue their education. They can now go to college, an option that they might not even have known that they had at first. They can go to college because they have the better education. And when these kids come out of college, they'll bring more money into the economy. Right now, our economy is messed up. It's really bad. But by giving us community schools, we now can go and become doctors and lawyers. We don't have to be rappers. We don't have to be high school dropouts. We don't have to go sleep under the bridge. We don't have to go sign up for welfare. We now have a choice for our future and our success. This is a myth. What I would like to say on this is that children in poverty are more expensive to educate. Why do you say this? Because children in poverty lack the certain skill that children out of poverty have. Not necessarily a skill per se, but children in poverty, me personally, not to get it personal, not to step on anything, but I'm an impoverished child. And I might not be able to focus on school because I'm hungry. And so by having a community school, they can help me get food. And so now I'm more able to devote more time to my education so that I can become successful and not just be another teen statistic, not just be one of society's dummies. This is a myth, and even if you believe it to be true, you should know that education should not have a price on it. Education should be free, and it should be equal to everybody. Everybody should have a quality education no matter what their social economic status is. Thank you.
That assumes that no businesses are in rural areas. That's wrong. There's community schools in rural areas. In fact, we quoted some of that evidence this year, Marty Blank's evidence. In fact, if you like, you can come up here and check our stats. It's here. Everything's here. It also assumes that a community can't be involved with a school. A community school is just not where businesses exist, but also where the neighborhoods are involved, parents are involved. Those are the businesses. You don't need big businesses. Those are the businesses who run the school. You don't see, Donald Trump going to, you don't see him at your community school. You see Susie, you see Logan, you see You know, those are the people who really attend the school. Those are the business people. Those are the business makers. That's the worst myth known to myths. Like, seriously. That is the worst myth. You know what? We really have to do something about this myth. I just find that to be unbelievable. In rural areas, I've never lived in a rural area, but I'm sure there are schools in rural areas, and there's brilliant people that come from rural areas and who attend community schools. And I'm sure they can say, hey, Donald Trump don't attend my school. Regardless of whether or not he funded, I show up from day to day. I attend that school. I eat free lunch. I'm a part of that school. I'm the business that runs that school. I don't necessarily understand that question in terms of being a business. So, I mean, if that's not good enough for you all, you can talk to me when this debate is over, because as far as I'm concerned, I am the business in my neighborhood. Okay? I attend that school from day to day. I deal with those issues in the inner city. Those are atrocities that I face day to day. I'm an entrepreneur. These are entrepreneurs. We're all entrepreneurs, and like I said, we are the business leaders, not Donald Trump. You know, not the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Don't tell them that. I know they fund community schools. So, but, that's all I have to say. But thank you all.
Thank you, Sydney.
Pow! 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 That's my neighborhood every night. Night after night. But yet, you still expect me to go to school and get the education that I so need. How can I do this if I fear for my life? How can I do this if I'm hungry? This is why community schools are needed. You see, education has always been a key component in community schools, but yet community schools realize that it's hard to be educated. It's hard to get that education that you so need when you have all these disadvantages in your neighborhood, in your life. So don't just think that education is on a back burner and we hand out all these social services for nothing. You see, it's a fact. The community schools have rising attendance. Community schools have rising graduation rates. But yet, public schools fear this because they fear that education is on the back burner. This isn't true. On to my first point. Learning has no boundaries. How can you say that they don't learn because they get a meal? They don't learn because they have a safe place. You see, all these safe places and meals goes into the learning process. Once again, that goes into the increasing increasing diplomas, and increasing attendance. On to my second point. Education requires multiple methods, a variety of methods which can be used to increase the diplomas and the attendance. You see, when we have this standard, you must do this, and you must do this in a certain way, that's the reason why we rebel. That's the reason why we go out and we find a game to be in our home. We find a game that we find comfort in because there's no one else that we can find comfort in. But a community school, it helps us. You see, a community school say you can be something. With this education that you do get at this school, along with the safety and the meals that you do need, along with the security in which you'll be safe, and yet you'll still graduate. You'll still go on and do something in life. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? Now is the time, and you are the people. Thank you.